Hi, I'm Dan McDermott, and joining me is, a couple guys from Kirkland, Washington. In the bottom, we have Oleg Moskalinsky, and we have Alan Furstenberg from New York. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here, Dan.
We're going to learn about Pinterest. I don't know anything about it. I've heard Scoble talk about it, and he describes it as like notes on your refrigerator door. And Alan and I really don't know what the heck it is. So why don't you give us a quick lesson and what it is and what you think that makes it cool, Oleg?
It's one of the things that makes it cool, I guess, would be the fact that it's very popular. Whether it's justified or not, I guess everybody will have to try to see. Basically, this application, it's a totally web-based application, and the way it works, they're trying to mimic the concept of a pin board, where you have a board that starts with nothing, and then you pin on it things that are of interest to you. That's why they call it pin to rest, like pin interest. You're pinning your interest. And so you can create any number of these boards, because we're talking digital here. So you can have as many boards as you wish. You can also, in addition to placing content on these boards, which I'll talk about in a second, you can also identify these boards with certain names, so it's easier for you to remember which board represents what. It's not just a board where you have 100 boards numbered 1 through 100. You can actually name them something meaningful. And so when you initially sign up for your account, when you get an invite for it, right now it's all by invites only, and somebody sent me an invite, so I'm one of the people who can actually use it now. But apparently there's a lot of people who can use it, because this website hit, I think, 10 million views a month in the shortest amount of time of any website in history. So they're very, very popular. And so the concept is, as I described, refrigerator door or pin board, that's basically what you're doing, where you're placing your content. Obviously, you can have as much content as you want, as many boards as you want. And what you're doing is actually, when you're pasting things in there, you're pasting URLs. So it's like a bookmarking site that's a little bit more rich in terms of media. And when you post content on this website, you're usually identifying a category for which this particular post would match, so when people do searches they can find it. And also you're identifying the board you want to place it on in terms of your boards. And then once you actually get it there, it just looks like a little, something you put on your board. It usually has a picture, and it has information about who posted this particular entry and which board it's on right now. And then it also has ability, when you hover over each piece, it has 3 links at the top. One is called repin, one is called edit, and one is called comment. And of course, this is when you're looking over your own content. If you're looking at other people's content, they have repin, like, and comment. So comment is pretty straightforward. You can just put comments on people's stuff. Repin allows you to basically share whatever you're doing with other people who follow you. So now that I'm done with the bookmarking part, the next part that they have is the social part, meaning you can actually follow people and they follow you. They see your content, you see their content, that kind of approach. So what's happening is you can click on like, and you can easily get and look at all your likes, and you can easily get and look at all your shares, and people who follow you can see things that you share using this repinning thing, and then they can do whatever they want to do in terms of commenting, things like that. So it's kind of a quasi Google Plus, except in looking at content, one at a time, going up and down. You're looking at looks like 2, 4, 6. I have 8 entries fitting on my screen, my 23-inch screen. And then, if you want to look at comments, if you want to look at how many people have shared this, if you want to repin it, you can basically reshare. But it's a social bookmarking site. That's the easiest way to explain what it is. And even though social bookmarking sites were available before, this is kind of a little different spin on it. And according to the statistics of how popular it is, people really like it.
Is it iOS only, or what's the deal?
No, I actually have not tried the app. I'm just talking about the web app. It's just in the browser on the
So you
computer.
can use it on the web, or you can, okay. But right,
So that would be, whatever platform you have, you pull it up in the browser, and that's how you view it. I do believe they probably have an app, which I haven't seen any kind of posting about it, but and I haven't checked the app market to see if they have it. But most likely they probably have. If they don't have one now, they'll have it soon.
those metrics are incredible for a site that you can't even just join, right?
They are pretty amazing. They're invite only, and
Alan, what do you think?
And
Is this another time waster we're just going to jump on?
I think I think it's kind of interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops and what uses it get used for. Let me ask you a question, Oleg.
Yeah.
How public are each of these pin boards? Is there a way to limit who gets to see a different one, or are all of them all open to the public?
My understanding is your content will only be seen by people who follow you. I don't think anybody else will see it. And so the more people follow you, the more people will see it, then they can share it with their people. I don't see the granularity of access anywhere near as potent, I would say, as Google Plus has, for example.
So there's no way, for example, to create a pin board that only family members can see. So, not creating a shopping list on this between you and your spouse. This isn't that application.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think right now it looks like it's. I wouldn't bet my life on this to say this because I've only played with it for just a little bit. But I think it looks more like situation with Twitter. You have people following you. You have people you follow, and that's pretty much the extent of it. So you don't have the details of being able to. There's nothing like circles in this thing, and that's what you're asking. Yeah.
Really, for those of us who put content out publicly, it's yet another thing that we've got to have to figure out and spend time.
To be honest with you, Dan, I personally don't see this as a big time waster for me. I don't think I'm going to use this thing, to be honest with you, because I can accomplish the same thing easily and in a lot of ways even better using Google Plus. So since I already use Google Plus and I like Google Plus, I don't really see why I need to have a separate social bookmarking deal for that when I can easily use Google Plus for the same reason.
It's clearly pretty. It's nice looking.
It is. It's very nice looking.
And
yes.
It's more stylistic or whatever. But I mean, you see these things come and go, though. Do you think this has staying power? Like I checked out Chime.in, and it's nice, but there's some quirks I don't like the character limit, and it's basically just aggregating. I mean, you can't really write any kind of substantive thing because there's not enough character spaces. And then we've got this. I keep having people add me on Schemer. Are you guys using these things?
I've dropped that.
I joined Schemer right at the beginning, and I don't know. I think that's
what the hell is it? I don't know what it is.
Well, it's kind of obvious. What it looks like it was originally meant for was for people to post ideas of very specific things to do, kind of like a shared activity calendar. And what people have turned it into is more of an ambitious, goal-driven type thing. So I think it's gotten out of hand. I don't think it's anything like what Google expected it to be.
Have any of you guys played with Chime.in?
I haven't played with Chime.in, but I think the Schemer, to me, I looked at it a little bit, total waste of time. I just dropped it, and I'm never going to use it.
Yeah, is Pinterest going to be like one of those things, or does this have got the juice?
Dan, it's really hard to say because if you look, for example, at popularity of Twitter right now, it baffles me a little bit of how popular Twitter is because it's such a non-thing in terms of it's not anything amazing in terms of what it does, and you can certainly accomplish the same thing with easily Google Plus and more so and so on and so forth. So I don't really understand why so many people are so driven to use something like that where you can put in these 140 characters and do your thing.
I think Twitter's advantage is its 140 characters, is the fact that it's meant to be quick. Everything about from entering a message to replying to a message is quick, it's fast, it's short, it's right there, it's instant, it's right there. Google is meant for longer, more thought-provoking, more driven things. Facebook is meant for longer, more provoking, more type status updates. I think Pinterest, it's the jury's still out on it. I've seen a lot of people put it to some very interesting uses, and I can see some good applications that Google doesn't quite fill. But overall, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure where it's going yet. I don't think they are either.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say was basically it's like what I was mentioning about Twitter is that I can easily get by with not using Twitter, use something else with better results basically. But clearly, there's tons of people that do use Twitter, and it's growing. So with that being the case, it's hard to say specifically what's going to happen with Pinterest because right now, clearly, a ton of people want to use it, and not everybody can even participate at this point until they get an invite. Actually, I just see a red button that says invite friends. So I'm going to send you guys a couple of invites.
Okay.
I didn't see that
if anyone's
before.
watching,
But anyway, so you can play with
phone
it.
number
But,
in the comments,
myself, am I going to use it? Unlikely, highly unlikely.
Okay.
Yeah.
A true fanboy. All right. Okay, cool. All right, thanks, guys. This was fun.
Thanks, Dan.
We learned about Pinterest.